So today I'm going to do another video all about the things that people say to you when you have a child with autism. Or maybe I should clarify that bit and say it's the sort of things that people have said to me in the past about just different scenarios really. Okay, so one of the most bright memories I have was when my eldest daughter was about 5. My middle daughter would have been sort of 3 and a bit, 3.5, and the little one would have been in a pram, probably maybe a little bit younger actually, all 3 of them. And we were in the post office, and Jacqueline kicked off, as she often did. And to those of you who don't know the word meltdown, it's often used by people with autism or families of children with autism to describe what often appears to other people, to outsiders, as a big tantrum, but it's often caused by sensory overload. And so Jacqueline had this huge big meltdown in the post office. And the post office was really crowded, and this lady looked back. She was a really old lady, really stooped, and she looked back and she looked me in the face with absolute vehemence, and she turned around and she said to me, "People like you shouldn't have children." And I burst into tears. And at that moment I vowed never ever ever to taunt or make comments about screaming children in public places, because you never ever know the circumstances behind that screaming child. Okay, so that was sort of a horrible one. There's lots of things that apparently educated people say to me about autistic children. One of the things that I get told quite regularly is that my children can't have autism because they've got really good imaginations. Spoken about that in one of my other videos about Asperger's, about the misconception about imagination. So to those of you who've been told that your children are too imaginative to have autism, what can I say? They should know better. A young lady who is a friend of mine a little while ago told me, she asked me if I was sure that my eldest daughter had autism, because she knew lots of people with autism, and that she felt that my daughter didn't actually fit into the category that she'd seen in these other people. And she advised me to have the diagnosis checked, because she thought it was unhealthy for me to let my daughter carry this diagnosis around with her in the event that I was wrong. So thanks for the advice, but I'm quite sure we've got it covered. Okay, what else? What silly things are said? I have been asked whether or not autism can be caught, and is that why more than one of my children have got it? No, it can't be caught. No, it can't. I believe it's a genetic predisposition, something that's in the genes. So, maybe I passed it on to my children. Well, I obviously did pass it on to my children, but they certainly didn't catch it as such from me, and certainly they didn't catch it from anyone else. What else? So it's going to be lots of ums and ahs because I'm totally sort of ad-libbing this, and I'm just sort of doing it off the top of my head, really. Oh yeah, I was told that my eldest daughter couldn't have autism because she was too pretty. That's a good one, isn't it? Yeah, she's too pretty to have autism. So to all you beautiful, and I know many, many of you, you beautiful autistic people out there, or you beautiful people who have autism, I should say. What can I say, really? You really cannot tell that a person is on the autistic spectrum by how they look. They do not look a certain way, you know. Some may have odd speech, some may have an odd gait, some may have various difficulties, but you cannot tell somebody has autism by the value you place on their attractiveness. Yeah, there we go. What else? I quite often get told that my children will grow out of autism. Not true. Children will learn to adapt, and children will learn skills that, if taught well, can help them to overcome some of the difficulties that they have because of the autism. But there is no magic cure, and you don't grow out of it. You know, once you're born with it, although you don't die of it, you will die with it. You know, you will be an autistic old person someday, and all the more colourful for it. Teachers. Oh yeah, okay. I was once told by this guy that I thought I knew really, really quite well. His girlfriend was actually an acting head teacher at the time, and he went on to tell me that he knew a lot about autism and that his girlfriend was an expert. And I was quite interested in this, you know, I'm quite interested in experts on autism. And so I asked about her qualifications, what made her an expert in autism. And I was told that she had been a one-to-one support for a young lady when she was a teacher sometime before, and she'd spent some time, you know, with this girl doing one-to-one. And he went on to quote an occasion where this child had reacted, actually had a meltdown to a loud noise. And he then sort of, went on to tell me that, you know, because of this, she was an expert. Okay, let me tell you this. A half-day course doesn't make you an expert in autistic spectrum disorders. Okay, it can teach you about the diagnostic criteria. It can teach you about the definitions of autism. It can teach you the same thing that a lot of books can teach you, well, as much as you can learn in half a day. But you are not an expert in autism. And I would go as far to say that there are very, very, very few experts in autism within the world. The notable exceptions of this is anybody who has autism. So those kids, those adults who have an autistic spectrum disorder are the experts. They are the experts in how they feel. They are the experts in how they are affected by the difficulties. They're the true experts. And then the next experts are the close family and those people who spend day in, day out with those people on the autistic spectrum and help them to overcome their difficulties and help them to deal with their difficulties. They also are experts, but only experts in how it affects that particular person. There are quite a lot of doctors out there and quite a lot of people who write copious amount of books, and I give them kudos, and I think, well done, and you're really, really knowledgeable on the subject. But they are not an expert in my children and how autism affects my children. So that's a big thing on what people say, about being an expert. Yeah, that's something that really can you tell? That's something that really gets my goat. What else have we had? Oh yeah, sensory issues. If you're sensitive to light, you don't just get over it by just keep on doing it. It doesn't just go away. So unless there are ways you can sort of desensitize people to various things, but unless that's done in a very, very careful manner, it could be quite harmful to a person. So yeah, when somebody once said, because my daughter really struggled with the fluorescent lights in the classroom, and somebody said, oh, she'll soon get used to it. No, you don't get used to it at all. That's just another silly thing that people think. Okay. That's a bit of a short one, really, and a bit tongue-in-cheek, I suppose. I just wanted to sort of get that off my chest, I think. That's about it for now. Yep. Bye for now.